Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nitish Dhanuka. I'm a 23-year-old guy, and I might know nothing about marriages, raising a child, or even relationships, to be honest. But I'm here just to talk about facts and the psychology of the general human being. And I'm gonna counter all the arguments made by the so-called BJP spokesperson, the same people that are against same-sex marriages, the same people that think that any other religion other than Hinduism should not exist in India, don't believe in the multicultural facet of India, and the same people that think that changing the name of cities and even the country itself, changing India from India to Bharat, will change any fact of India and will help in the growth of India. I'm talking about the same hypocritical BJP people. So yeah, let's start off with what happened, and let me talk about that at first. The statement made by Mr. Nitish Kumar, who is the CM of Bihar, I think, said the fertility rate in the state has came down from 4.3% to 2.9% due to the education of women. An educated woman is able to ensure that the sex does not necessarily end up in pregnancy, which helps keep the population in check. See, to be honest, let me just make another adding statement to this. This problem of people being too involved in their, I would say, career path, or I would say in the progress or creating the maximum output for themselves as a youngster, drives them to abandoning creating a family. And I think it's more seen in women than in men, because I know it's true that women take the more hit because they have to stay by while during the 9 months of the pregnancy and the first few years of the child growing up, because it's obviously that the child is attached to the mother itself, and I can understand that. And that's completely true, that's completely factual, and there's nothing wrong about it. That's a biological thing, that's a psychological thing, and that happens. The mother takes the most hit to her career, to her dreams and aspirations as well. Yeah, it's true that the old society had labeled the female as the caretaker of the house and the caretaker of the child, and to be and her only sole responsibility is to bear the child or the offspring for the family. And that's a wrong perspective, I agree. But not realizing that the fact that women that are educated look down on men that are educated and the women that are uneducated and think they are above all. It's a fact, and many women might also face this, like other women that are more educated than the woman, such as a doctor, will look down on a office worker. And it's the fact, people with power look down on people who have less power, and that's a human psychological thing, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. It's not like you're doing it on purpose. It's just a thing, that it's just a human mind that does it. And people like getting educated and getting into this woke culture of feminism are driven by this ideology of building up a career, building up I would say, to give the best output that they can out of their life and to enjoy life to the fullest, drinking, smoking, having parties, working 6 days a week and partying one day, like completely getting toasted, drunk, and just smoking, and like I would say, um, having casual relationships is the primary way to have fun. See, as a person who is in his early 20 cannot vouch that what will happen in the future. Maybe some of you will actually have looked back into your past and will enjoy it and will call it a good memory that they cherish. But some of y'all, it will be a nightmare for you when you will be in your late 40s, or I would say late 30s even, to regret upon the life that you lived and to think that you would have made it differently, work more on relationships, not only like girlfriend boyfriend relationships or like partner relationships, but also friendship and relationship towards your family, that's your parents, or maybe your cousin or someone else that you love. To keep a balance in life is very important. And when you get educated, or I'm not saying the educated parts, just saying that you go and go to the college, get a fucking degree and shit like that. Education is understanding what you want and understanding the process of how you can achieve that. It's not just reading the fucking textbook or doing the practicals. It's about learning from your mistakes and learning to live life in a much better way, not to repeat those mistakes. Yeah, it might sound like I'm just giving away talks of wisdom, but even in my life, the 23 years that I've lived on Earth, I realized that I'm working on myself. Everybody's working on working on themselves. Even the 99-year-old person is also working in himself, making to try to make his 1 year or 2 years, how much he's gonna live, better. Everybody does that. They want to live a life without regrets, and they want to live a life that is memorable till the last moment that they breathe. Everybody is working their ass off, but as I've told you, women get the most hit when they are building up a family. Most of the women have to sacrifice their careers, have to sacrifice their dreams and aspirations, may take a pause, can resume, or cannot resume because of other problems. Maybe they're too stuck with the homework, that like the house chores, like they got used to it while living at home. Maybe they just want to live a house lifestyle because in some capacity might be more convenient for them, because like their work was too tiring and too stressful for them living in the house. Because most of our works, like most of our, like it's not the 90s or the 80s where you have to do everything manually. Most of the thing is automated, from cooking foods to washing dishes to washing clothes. Everything is mostly automated. You barely have to touch and do manual labor right now, like not labor but like manual stuff right now. Most of the things are automated. Excuse me. Most of the things are automated, and most of the things are like programmable, or I would say made easy by the day to day life, like inventions, discoveries, and stuff like that. Things are being made easy. So it's not that you have to do the same struggles that the woman had to do in the 80s. Women in the 80s had to, even as an actress or an actor, you're getting more paid, you're getting more respect in industry, you have more value in your early life than you had before, like in the early times before. And things have changed a lot. I know there are many countries, many specific I would say industries, many places that you might think you have been oppressed, and that's true, that happens. I won't disagree to that. But building a family is a thing that is a desire. You might not feel it right now, but later on in life you might regret it. And it's not me saying I'm a man. I can't vouch for women, right? I've seen multiple videos on YouTube, I would say TikTok and other social medias, where women have told their stories about their young life being full of energy and so full of passion, so full of like workaholic environment, that they neglected their building a family, building relationship with people, that later on they felt alone, that later on they felt left out from the from where like from wherever they go. They see other people having their lives like big, like lives built up perfectly. They're having a stable job, they're having a stable family, they're having stable relationships, just in case you don't want to build up a family and have children. That's true. That's true both for men and women. Like they are, yeah, when they are young, they're more ambitious toward their career and not building up their family. But the maximum hit that the gender gets is of like the woman gender, because after a while they go to a phase. It's called menopause. You not be able to conceive children. I know there are some exceptions, obviously, but Most of y'all won't be able to have children, whereas men have the liberty of marrying young women and can building up a family with them, while you all who have lived your young life trying to be ambitious and yet regretting later. I'm not saying to cut all your ambitions just to like have kids. You can have whatever life you want, but I'm just saying a lot of y'all psychologically think that way and regret it later on. And both regret it. I'm not saying it's for men or women. It's both. But for men, they still have a chance. They still have a backup. They don't lose uh, too much into the reproduction cycle as women, because the women are the one that's going to conceive. And if a man doesn't get that, they desire for younger women that can conceive. Obviously, you can go further in life, adopt children. That's also a good thing, because supporting a child that's been left or abandoned or lost their loved ones is good. Building up a family of with an adopted child is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad or terrible, but it's the fact that women don't want to conceive anymore because they're too ambitious about their and too passionate and too full of energy. Like when we're young, we are too passionate about just rushing forward because we are at our best conditions, we are at our top speeds. And when we are racing, we are at the top speeds, we don't want to shift gears way back and just slow down for a while. We are just too much into the uh into the speed, into the motion, into the enthusiasm, too much into the adrenaline that we lose with the concept of time. And by the time we realize it, it's too late. That's what I wanted to say, and I just wanted to clear the things out, because especially I don't like the concept of BJP pushing false narratives of, oh, this is too vulgar, or is it's too like sexist. It's not sexist, it's the reality. See, I'll read the statement again just for y'all. The fertility rate in the state has come down from 4.3% to 2.9% due to the education of women. An educated woman is able to ensure that sex doesn't necessarily end up in pregnancy, which ensures that sex doesn't end up necessarily end in pregnancy, which helps to keep population in check. And as a country which is overpopulated, isn't that a proud moment for a woman? That is good that she's limiting the population. Is this a statement that makes you feel degraded? As a educated woman, you should be feeling good that you are keeping the population in check. You're not getting married, or you're not conceiving a child, and you might not want to conceive a child. Maybe later on you're gonna adopt some kid from the orphanage, and that's gonna help a kid as well, and you to build a family as well, and that will also keep the population check, because you're not creating new offsprings. You're just raising someone else's offsprings, as your own offspring, and technically that makes him or your offspring, and you're keeping the cycle of life going. You're keeping the legacy going. That's not a bad thing to say, right? Many have pointed out, and especially by BJP MLAs, that it's vulgar, shameful, sexist. I don't know how they feel that it's sexist. To be honest, if some girls just don't just wants to have casual sex and takes a morning pill and keeps the population in check, and someone says that it happens, if that's a fact, why are you getting triggered? The only reason that you're getting triggered is that you know that he's right, and what's happening is the thing that he's saying, and that's a fact and is the truth, and you cannot change it. If that were the truth, that he is being sexist or racist, you could have countered it by saying, no, women these days are the educated women, and the education is not to be blamed. Education of women is not to be blamed for the less like to reduce the population, what's it called, yeah, this sex index, like the fertility rate, yeah, the fertility rate of the state is being reduced because of education of women. See, it's not the like biggest thing that's like affecting India in general, because we have a decent ass population. I mean, we have an overpopulation, to be speaking frankly. But the countries that are getting hit most are Japan, Korea, where women are like wanting to marry men, or like wanting to marry other like women also in general. Like if you're like I would say bisexual or you're homosexual or you're heterosexual, whatever you are, they're not willing to getting married, and they're not willing to have children. And that's a problem. Not like in a, like it won't affect a country like India. It's affecting the whole world. United States fertility rate has reduced. Canada's fertility rate has reduced. India is not that getting affected that much. China's fertility rate has also been reduced. Korea and Japan are getting affected a lot. Philippines, I think it's okay. Vietnam is getting affected a lot. And there's millions, and there's not no millions, but like thousands of different cities that are also getting affected. Thousands of different states that are in different parts of the world, different in different countries that are also getting affected. It is not just Bihar. You can just go and check the news. Google the news itself, woman. The BJP MLA who was countering this argument was a woman. Google this shit. If it's not a fact, Google this and check that is Japan getting affected by the reduction in fertility rate of women. And is like I think it's called uh, baby per population, BPP or something like that. It's been reduced a lot. Like I think it's going in 0 point something or maybe 1 or something for Japan, and Korea I think it's 1 or something, which is kind of low for Japan, because Japan has like Tokyo is overpopulated, but other parts of Japan are underpopulated, and there has been an increase of old age population more in these part of the country, in these parts of the world. And that's been a big issue. Like all of these are becoming graves countries where it's all surrounded by old people, because new people are not being born, because the only way to for new people to be born are if women give birth, or if you find some other kind of machine or android that can give birth, which is not possible right now. So yeah, the world is getting affected. And if you don't know shit, just shut the fuck up and just do your research before you talk shit. I know you are most of your parties consisted with uneducated hunchbacks, but just do your research before you talk shit on the internet or in spread rumors around the world. Anyways, this is me, Rishabh Dhanuka, and I am out.